Very strong earnings. Hi, Carl. Good to see you again. And thank you, Nikesh Arora, CEO of Palo Alto, which is the world's biggest cybersecurity firm, for talking to us, a Davos regular. It's good to have you.
Thank you for having me, Sarah.
So a lot of talk about the geopolitical risks out there. You have an interesting, whoa, very windy.
All right.
You have an interesting vantage point when it comes to cyber. And I'm curious what your level of concern is right now about some of the activity that you're seeing in front of you.
Well, Sarah, as you know, that over the last 2 or 3 years, we've been going through this phase where we are seeing cyber attacks, more supply chain attacks for the most part, where bad actors are hacking supply chain software and software we all use in our companies. And that's kind of become the way they're able to address tens of thousands of companies. And I think that's not going to stop. I think that's still going to go on. I have a feeling that some of the hacks we saw recently were more of a dry run of nation states testing their capabilities. I think there's more to come.
What about Russia specifically? There was concern as this war happened in Ukraine that we would see more. It feels like it's been sort of quiet from Russia. Is that just because we're not hearing about it? What's happening?
Well, I mean, if you look at the recent activity we've seen from the U.S. government, we are hearing from them that they want us to make our defenses more robust because they want us to get zero trust in place. They want critical infrastructure to make sure that, or financial services to make sure that their stuff is strong. So I think there is a sense of foreboding. I think, my personal opinion, the Russians have not turned their cyber guns yet on the West. But I think that it depends on where and how this unfortunate war comes to a conclusion. But I can't imagine the Russian economy is going to be in a good place at that point in time. The question is, what do they have at their behest to try and create chaos in the rest of the West?
Are we, the U.S., prepared? Is our infrastructure, our companies prepared?
Look, there's always more that you can do. I think some parts of the infrastructure are more prepared than the others. But again, you know, every company is a tech company. And we saw the Colonial Pipeline hack. It's not a tech company, but somehow the hack was able to shut down the flow of oil. So every company has to be prepared. Not everyone is, and it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we all are.
So this is why your earnings are so strong, because, but even in a sort of more uncertain economic environment, you expect the spending on cloud security to continue.
Look, I think the uncertain economic environment was also there at the beginning of the pandemic. Oil prices were next to zero. You know, people were scared. Revenues went away. Stores shut down. So we had a whole bunch of customers who had no revenue. So they were re-looking at their costs. But nobody stopped spending money on cybersecurity. Nobody stopped spending money on technology. We're like the first cousins of technology. If you're going to spend more money on technology, you have to spend more money on security. And given where we are in the global landscape in terms of readiness of security, we see a disproportionate share being expended towards security.
What inning are we in the spending?
In the security
cycle?
Spend or the IT spend?
Security.
I think we're very early. I think, pick your sport. We're in the third over of cricket. We're in the first innings of baseball.
Okay, that one I know.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
But what about IT spending? Because there's a big question mark now with Europe potentially looking at recession and the U.S. economy slowing down.
I think, I've said this before, we're in the golden era of technology. I think every company is going to spend more money in technology because we're all becoming technology companies. You want to solve a problem where you'd have resources for labor, you automate. You want people to deliver food to your house, you automate. You want to buy groceries, you automate. So every company wants to become a tech company. Every store wants to become AR and VR enabled. Everybody wants to be in the metaverse. So I think we're going to see a lot more technology spend going forward. So in the short term, I'm not worried about the economic conditions. I think as the next 3 to 6 months transpire and we start seeing real impact to companies' P&Ls, we will see some marginal compression in technology spend, but overall, I'm not.
It's weighed on your stock, at least into earnings.
Well, it's weighed on every tech stock, and I think there's been a bit of a re-rating in the market, and that's always healthy because some things had run away too far. But look, our job is to keep our head down, keep generating cash flow for our shareholders, and the market will take care of itself.